Hello, everybody. This is Ran. So, I wasn't going to talk about this, but seeing that Reaper, made a video about this about a week ago, I thought, what the hell, I'm not going to leave Reaper hanging. But I mostly try to keep everything positive, because, I like to keep my channel fun. Like I have fun topics like That's Guy T was in on my channel twice. I had a conversation with the Just the Car, and usually when people come to my channel, they have a very good time. When I invite guests, I make sure that my guests have a very good time because I would like to keep my channel as fun as possible. And by the way, this video will be off the cuff, so please forgive any mistakes. Well, anyway, a while back, like I think a month ago, I was tricked into the real SaintClare channel. He did the whole baits and switch things. I thought I was gonna be talking about my video on the Amazing Atheist. When really, when he said that we were gonna talk about it, he meant he was going to interrogate me on it because he invited so many people onto the live stream, and I was shocked. I had no idea that there's going to be this that many people, and I even said, and this was like off air. We were still off the air. I was like, why are there so many people here? I mean, I was like, why did you invite this many people? And then I started explaining my video, why I made the video on the Amazing Atheist, and this is when he does a bait and switch. I told him that I am just going to talk about my video. This is what we agreed to, and then he starts reading my DMs about China, and I explicitly told him that I do not want to talk about China. I told him multiple times, I believe that we were still off air, and I do think partially while we were on air, that I don't know anything about China, Chinese history, and I do not want to talk about it. But he wanted to force the conversation that direction because I think he has a intellectual superiority complex. He needs to feel good about himself, so he just wants to bring up Chinese history. I mean, I guess he. Never mind. But anyway, it's kind of like all he was doing is just forcing conversation about Chinese history and economics. And I believe this was on air when I said I don't know anything about economics. It was barely covered in school. I had economics for one semester in high school, and that's it. And I didn't really need it in real life. In real life, I just, pay bills, and that's it. I never really saw the need for economics. But he wanted to get on me about economics. He wanted to get to me about Chinese history, and it just seems like there's something wrong with him. And it's kind of like Reaper says that he's been talking shit about me off air. He's been saying that he doesn't like me. Okay, why are you following me on Twitter? Not to mention, he followed me first, and I followed him back. So it's kind of like, if you don't like me, why are you following me? Why did you invite me to different live streams? It doesn't make any sense. It's like, why did you invite me into the recent live stream? For me, I don't invite anybody I don't like. I make sure that all my guests have a good time because I want people to have fun on my channel. I want my channel to be fun, relaxing, and I want people to enjoy themselves. I think he's just a TJ wannabe because I know that TJ invited G-Man multiple times just to make fun of him, and I think he was just trying to be a copycat and replicate the Drunken Peasants podcast, when really the difference is G-Man wants to talk about Christianity. And personally, I think G-Man is a troll. I don't think G-Man is really a Christian. I think he's just an atheist troll, being even called um being even called a G-Man a troll like 3 times live on air. And I think like being on one episode, it's like, I'm gonna tell everybody your secret, G-Man. G-Man is actually a troll. So it's kind of like, I do think that G-Man is nothing more than an atheist pretending to be a Christian. And even if he really was a Christian, he still wanted to talk about Christianity. I didn't want to talk about China. I made it explicitly clear that I did not want to talk about China. I don't know who does want to talk about China. And he wanted to use that to discredit me and use it as proof of how stupid I am. So it's kind of like he's like make, and this is according to Reaper, he's like making fun of me and making fun of my intelligence. Okay, if I'm so stupid, then how come he lost the debates with me? Like basically, and I do believe he said this on air, on like either the first time I was on his channel or the second time I was on his channel. Basically, he even live when we were together, he even admitted that he lost a debate to me. So that's kind of strange that I am so stupid, yet he lost the debates on me on Twitter. So it's like, well, what does that make you? And it's kind of like the difference between me and you is that like, you know Chinese history. I don't know when you're ever going to use that in real life. With me, I mean, I've been studying foreign languages. I've been studying Japanese, 2 different dialects. Like I can speak a bit of the Tokyo dialect, but I could also speak a little bit of Kansai Ben or the Osaka dialect. And I also speak a little bit of Spanish as well because I have, neighbors from Mexico, and my neighbors came in like 6 months ago, 7 months ago. So I speak a little bit of Japanese. I speak a little bit of Spanish, and I even speak a tiny bit of Chinese because I frequent a Chinese restaurant. So whenever I go to these Chinese restaurants, I'm like, ni hao ma, shishi, saijin, and it's kind of like, it's kind of like the difference between me and him is that I actually learned things that I could actually use in real life. And not only that, but my mother knows that I speak a little bit of Japanese. So sometimes when she has, like when I'm over and the guests are over, it's kind of like, mom's like, come here, come here, come here. Speak Japanese. Japanese. Speak Japanese to all these people. Like, show them your Japanese. I'm like, okay, like, watashi wa悪いんですよろしくお願いします元気ですかit's like, because I actually know a little bit of language. And I believe it was like last year or 2 years ago, like I was having a conversation, like me, and it's like, I'm not fluent in Japanese. Like, I'm a long ways away from fluent, but I still was like practicing vigorously, and I was like having like full blown conversations with a Japanese guy. But oh yes, according to SaintClare, I'm an idiot on China. Chinese history is proof that I'm a dumb, stupid moron, and he's just gonna use my ignorance on China, something that I don't need. And I think it's a waste of time to study something that I don't need, because if you know something but you don't need it at all, then it's trivia. It's trivia. It would be like me knowing that the most poisonous frog in the world is the golden darts frog. It's like, if you know something but you can't use it, then it's trivia. Real knowledge is knowing something that you could apply in regular everyday life, you know? It's kind of like because, we do have some, Spanish people in my states. And, one time I did meet a Spanish person who didn't speak one word of English. So it's kind of like Spanish is actually a lot more useful. And not only that, but it comes up a little bit more naturally as opposed to being forced. Because that's what he was doing. He was just forcing conversation. He was forcing a conversation on China. He was forcing a conversation on economy. And then, I think this was off air. Somebody brought up, like, hey, what language were you speaking? And I was like, oh, I was speaking Japanese because I know a little bit of Japanese. Again, far from fluent because it's been a while since I used Japanese. I haven't used Japanese for like, you know, a year or so. So I forgot, many of what I've learned. But a guy just was like, hey, what language were you speaking? And say Japanese. And many people were like, that's cool. People were talking about how cool it was and how impressed they were. And then SaintClare wanted to force people off the subject. Like, no, 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 no. We're not talking about that. We're not talking about that at all. She's a dumb, stupid idiot. We're not talking about that. And it makes me think of feminists. Like how feminists say that we live in a rape culture. And it's kind of like there's no proof of a rape culture being there, so they make false rape accusations. Or they say that society is so racist, but society doesn't seem all that racist. So what they do is make all of these hoaxes. They would write racist things like, see, there's proof. It's kind of like he needs to orchestrate my stupidity, because it's kind of like when people are like, it is really cool that you speak a little bit of Japanese. Will you speak more Japanese for us? Because people wanted me to say some things in Japanese. SaintClare wanted to force people off that topic. It's like, we are not talking about it. It's like he drew a conniption. He just got crazy over it. And he really is the type of person who needs reality to match his belief rather than his belief to match reality. Which to me makes him not all that's different from an ideologue. Most people, or I think at least people in the skeptic community, whatever you want to call it, it's the anti-feminist community, the skeptic community, I think most of us will prefer to, have belief to match reality. If you believe one thing but reality says another thing, to conform your beliefs to match reality. And if a person speaks another language, then they're not all that stupid. Especially if you lost a debate to them. Because if I'm stupid and he lost a debate to me, then what does that make him? So it's kind of like, instead of he conforming his belief to match reality, he's kind of like when people wanted me to speak more Japanese, he just threw a condition. Like, no, 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 we're not talking about it. We're not talking about it. We're not talking about it at all. I don't want to hear it. And he just started, like drawing a fit over it because of cognitive dissonance. And this is why I say he has an intellectual superiority complex. He needs to feel intellectually superior. I don't know, maybe I really hurt his feelings when he lost the debate to me. And so he just needed to orchestrate a scenario where I'm stupid when I told him I don't know anything about Chinese history. I never studied Chinese history. I have no interest in learning about Chinese history because I don't need it. I am never ever going to be able to use it in real life. And to me, it is foolish and stupid to learn a subject that I don't need and never ever will need. If I'm going to learn something, I'm going to at least learn something that I could sort of kind of use. At least, with the Spanish I know, I have neighbors who are from Mexico, I could always say, Hola, ¿cómo está? Su casa es maravilloso. Es un genio. It's like, at least I could, use it, on my neighbors. At least when it comes to the Chinese restaurants I use on a regular, near everyday basis, I like ni hao ma, saijin shishi. At least, when it comes to Japanese, I could actually use it because I have Japanese cousins. Like my one of my cousins married a Japanese woman, and they had children. So I have Japanese people who are related to me. So it's like at least I could actually use some of these things. He has knowledge that he can't even use, so he needed to force a conversation on it. So it's kind of like, for me, I really don't like the guy, which is why this video is like so negative. He is some guy that I just lost all respect for, because it's kind of like I've done nothing to him. I've been nothing but nice to him. I don't see any points to reading my DMs out loud. He didn't have my permission to read them out loud. And before the live stream, I made it clear that everything I said in DMs are supposed to be private. I was like, hey, could we take this to DMs? Like, I don't want to say this on, publicly on Twitter. I want this to stay in DMs. So I made it perfectly clear that everything I said in DMs are supposed to be private. Yet he decided to be malicious and just be so hateful and read my DMs out loud, even though I made it very clear that he's supposed to keep it to himself. And yet he read it out loud anyway, and I've been nothing but nice to him. I have never been mean to him, ever. And if I offended him any, I would have apologized. I'm like, you know what? For doing that to you, I'm sorry, because I'm not a mean and hateful person. If you've seen any of my previous videos, like with the Justicar, with That's Guy T, with Nick Carroll, you can see what type of person I am. I want people to have fun. I want people to enjoy themselves. I want people to have a good time with me. I do everything I could to be nice. Like, even when I had feminists on my channel, or, it's like I've had SJW 101 on my channel. I've had like Micaiah B on my channel. I've had feminists on my channel, and it's like, I am nice to them because, I do not want to waste anybody's time. I do not invite people on my channel just to be mean, rude, and hateful and disrespectful, because that is not how I was raised. I was raised better than that. So, but when it comes to this, and again, this is off the cuff, one continuous shot, and I'm not going to edit it because I've just been so busy lately because I took on a second job. So it's kind of like I'm more tired, now. But I'm still studying Spanish and whatnot. But still, it's just really frustrating. And I don't get that guy, because I've been nothing but nice to him. And the thing is, like, even his fans were kind of like, they were like, they were apologizing to me for his behavior. His fans, this was on chat on Red Robot's live stream, because I'm part of the B list, and his fans came to me and it's like, I saw your live stream with SaintClare, and I would like to say that I am very sorry for how he treated you. I don't know why he did that to you. And even some of the people who were on that live stream with me, even they like said to me like privately, like, I don't know what's wrong with that guy. I don't know why he did what he did. You know, you seem like such a nice person. I don't know why he decided to be mean, hateful, and malicious. So that's what made me feel like really good about myself. Like, and I gained like I believe like I gained like 5 or 6 some subscribers from it. So that's always feels good. But anyway, I made this video because Reaper made a video talking about it, and Reaper is my friend, and he did it to look out for me, and I don't want to leave him hanging. So it's like, oh man, it's like I cannot leave my friend hanging, and you know, to just do this all by himself. I'm gonna talk about this too. So that's my piece on it. Sorry if this came across as too negative. I normally like to talk about more positive, happier subjects, and I love it when things are more fun and people are having a good time. So, if you want something more positive, just wait a while. I don't know when I could get a new video out there because again, I have 2 jobs now instead of just one. So, I don't know when my next video will come out. And most likely it would be off the cuff, one continuous shots because I am just pressing for time now. So I I hope that I adequately explained the situation. This I hope I didn't upset anybody. Um, you know, it's like I just couldn't leave like Reaper hanging like that, and this isn't meant to be mean or vindictive on my part, and I apologize if I caused any offense to my subscribers. But again, I would try to get something more positive or more uplifting out there, and I hope you enjoyed this video anyway. Bye bye.